Hello everybody. I am trying out a new style of content. Well, I haven't really made that many videos, so I don't even know if I can say that, but I want to be more consistent with this. So I'm just trying out something where I hit record and talk about whatever comes to mind. Okay, the first thing that I want to talk about is the book that I'm reading. I'm currently reading Taiwan Travelogue. I don't even know the author. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to lie, this is a little bit outside of what I usually am tapping into. I'm reading this because there's an influencer called Big Book Lady. I think her name is Louise. I watch her a lot on YouTube. For context, I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. This is like my fourth time, I'm not going to lie. It's about this woman named Aoyama. She's a Japanese mainlander who's paid by the Japanese government to travel to Taiwan and write travel journalism. Pretty innocent. And she gets assigned this interpreter, a native Taiwanese person, and they form like a relationship. It's like Aoyama wants to be her friend. I think Aoyama wants to be a little bit more than her friend, to be honest. It's a little fruity, which I like. But there's like a clear power imbalance between the two, and Aoyama's a little bit oblivious to it, but the interpreter is like really sharp, and obviously she's like, maybe the underdog in this situation, so she's really attuned to it. But it's really interesting. I'm not gonna lie, this is not like typically when I'm reading, this is new for me. I'm usually like a gay romance smut kind of guy, and I like to read just to escape. I'm not like engaging in anything critically, and so I'm trying something new. And honestly, it's really hard. I feel like I'm a victim of the brain rot epidemic, and so I'm just trying my best here. Well, we'll see. I'll let you know what I think about it once I cross that finish line. Now I want to talk about shopping. I am going on vacation on June 3rd. I'm going first to Barcelona, and then I leave from there to go to the south of France for a week. And I want to get some clothes. I don't love necessarily shopping just for a vacation. I have a long list of items that I've wanted to have in my closet for a long time, and so I'm trying to like do double duty with this mission. What we're going to do next is I'm going to share my screen and just show you what I'm buying. We're gonna like shop. All right, I'm gonna start by giving you guys a peek behind my Pinterest. Ignore the naked man right here. This platform wants me to have an eating disorder. I feel like what I'm asking for is not that hard. Like, I just want baggy shorts, tight shirt, look sexy. Like, that's all I really want in Barcelona. And then I made one for the south of France, and the vibe I'm going for there is just very relaxed. Like, gym short, t shirt, beach. That's all I want. And then also wide leg pants, flowy, refined, maybe. I think the number one item on my list, just overall, is a pair of wide leg black trousers. I've had a few different pairs of wide leg pants, and I feel like the ones that I see online that are like constantly recommended, like the ones from COS, just don't fit me. I'm like a 6'2" guy, which I know isn't too tall, but it's just tall enough where they sit at an awkward place on my ankle, and I kind of want them dragging on the floor a little bit. I also wanted something that wasn't too structured. I feel like a lot of these pants are wool or like a thicker cotton, and they just look a little bit stiff. And for the summertime, I wanted something that drapes me nicely, that like is very flowy, that just feels like relaxed and a little bit more elevated. And I found a pair finally that I think fits this criteria. They're from a brand called A Momento. It's a South Korean brand. I hadn't heard of them before, but they have this pair of wide leg pleated satin trousers. These look nice and flowy. They're wide, they're pleated. They're what I'm looking for. They're hitting the ground. And I bet this guy is tall too because he's a model. The second sort of frequent thing that I'm seeing on my Pinterest board are just big ol' shorts, like big ol' black shorts to the knee with like small t-shirt / small tank top. And I don't know, I feel like that looks good. and is easy, and I can wear the pair of black shorts that I buy like every other day and it'll be fine. I like the ones from Our Legacy, the Ponte short, I believe it's called. The thing is that they're like $400, which just seems a little excessive. But when I start seeing 44, 46, 48, I kind of get lost. Anyway, I got an ad for these. These are cotton. I feel like this is the same damn thing. So I think I'm going to try these out for my long black short. The thing is also that this trip is coming up, so I kind of need to buy stuff and like start trying on. The thing about the black short is that I feel like it's a versatile piece of clothing as well. Like I can simply throw on a t-shirt if I'm just running around for the day and still feel like I looked polished. I can wear them with flip-flops or dress it up with a loafer or throw on a sneaker depending on the context. That's just what I'm looking for in my everyday life. So these seem cool. And then the other thing that I've really been wanting are a pair of loafers. And I think especially for like, you know, if I'm going to a museum or I'm like kind of going to dinner in the south of France or whatever, I want an alternative to a sneaker that is not a boot. I think this is not boot weather. I feel like the it loafer right now is the one from the row, the soft leather loafer, but I just don't have that kind of cash right now. Obviously, the Banana Republic dupe that people always recommend, I don't like those ones that much. Like, I feel like they have a weird texture, I guess, and they're like pretty consistently sold out. So I saw these ones online from Alojas. I feel like they look really cool. They have that same crinkled toe. I think they'd look good with my new big old pants. The thing is that my size, which would be like a 43, 44, is currently out of stock and starts shipping June 1st, which is like 2 days before I leave for my trip. So I think I'm gonna hold off on that. And there's a store, an Aloha store in Barcelona. My plan is just to stop by there and hopefully I'll be able to pick them up while I am there. I think the core component of most of my outfits are just going to be t-shirts. Like I would like to get fancy with it, but who has the time to sort of plan that out right now? I don't have the mental capacity, I know that much. I've been getting like fed ads for all of these brands. One is California Arts. They have like this t-shirt called the Frank Baby Tee that looks pretty cool. The other is Pool House New York. I just want something that's a little tighter, like upper chest and arms, and then boxier fit on the bottom, and then crops right at my belt line so you can't like see my stomach unless I like lift my arms. And I'm not really looking to tuck in. I want it to hang. I'm on vacation, okay? But I probably should order, and I should probably order in a few sizes. And then the next thing that I'm looking for is a belt. A black leather belt. I currently don't have a belt that actually fits me, and I need this just for my life. I feel like the like It Boy belt is the Our Legacy Western belt. I feel like that's a little too skinny for what I'm looking for. There's this other belt on Mr. Porter. It's a 3 centimeter belt. It's $100 cheaper than the Our Legacy one. It still has the style, but I don't know. I just like the thickness of it a little bit better. Also, they may not have my size. I also went to some fun concerts this week. The first one was Grace Ives. She played at a smaller venue called L Club, but it was just like a really good show. It was like an hour flat. She performed her entire new album, which I really liked, but I appreciate even more after seeing it live and sort of getting her energy in real life. She's a cool gal. And it was just like, for what it was a really cool show. It was just her. She had like someone on a keyboard kind of doing like, you know, the mixing and the electronic stuff, and then a drummer. And it just sounded really good. The lighting was really cool. She had like no spotlights on her. It was all like strobe lights in the back. It felt, my friend I was with was like, it kind of felt like Euphoria. You know, when Euphoria was good, which I agree. It was kind of that vibe. Also, I love her hair. It's gorgeous. It's like big pastel pink hair that she just like dances and whips around, and she just looks very cool. I also went and saw on Friday Waxahachie and MJ Linderman. They played at the Masonic Temple. That was also a really good show. Definitely like a different vibe. Like I was sitting the entire time and not dancing. However, still really good. I really like their set. It was like kind of had the vibe of like just a living room, and they had a taxidermy dog on stage, which I loved. I love that detail. And I want to say their set was less than an hour and a half, and they packed in 30 songs. Like it was crazy. They just kept going. To the 10 people who watch my videos, thank you. I'll see you later. I want like a long sleeve sort of semi-translucent, kind of like this, like a cream color Henley where you can see my nipples.